Ladies and germs, this is CXB. Oh, I want to go with some nice colors. Fuck it. There's no time. It's going to be a really horrible video here. I have my hand do all the talking. So, that's too distracting. And I also got baked. I'm so sorry. And I had a little bit of tequila because it's time for my sleep. I argue that I'm the first human being to be shadow banned. Well, maybe the Chinese did it first. This was 2012, early 2012. I was in Long Island at my new then Polish girlfriend's house. She was amazing. And I was working on the computer through her Wi-Fi connection. And when they created the internet, the media fucked up. Remember, at first they allowed readers to write comments. Now, that's a huge mistake to activists like me and investigative reporters like me, because every story they'd write, filled with old lies, I would then, right below it, say, that's false, and here's the facts, check this out, and this out. And it was over. Because remember, I'm telling the truth, they're not. Every post I made was devastating because I was telling the truth. So it took me 1 minute, 5 minutes to obliterate their entire empire. And I wasn't the only one. That's why a lot of them, like the New York Times, the New York Post, they got rid of their comment sections the Post completely, and the Times almost completely. They got rid of comments because they saw, how can we do our CIA shit if the fucking customers now can write the real facts below it? This is terrible. Now, I'm suing them in federal court, and they're going to have a very tricky time with that one because it sure looks like the only intention was to keep misleading the customers. When I read any article in newspapers, the comments are what I first want to look at because the comments I know are going to be more insightful than whatever the fuck the reporter wrote. We know that. That's why now they moderate. So now they'll show you comments, but it shows you, oh, people did comment, but they all agree with the newspaper. They all agree with the CIA because they just take out all the comments that are anti-CIA, and then they plant the ones that they obviously have trolls who are paid to plant pro-CIA garbage or pro-New York Times garbage or pro-Bloomberg garbage or whatever their agenda is on that particular article. They're going to remove the dissent. Okay, so they're like Hitler and Stalin, but not quite as honest. And I'm saying we can put them in fucking prison, is what I'm saying. We can put these fuckers in prison. Bernie Madoff is sitting in prison. He's a billionaire who is sitting in prison. It took 10 years to do it. And his victims were rich. It still took 10 years because that's how dirty the government is. Remember, the government agrees with us. They're dirty. They don't deny it. They just say, what are you going to do about it? Yeah, we're dirty. What the fuck are you going to do about it? You fucking pussies. Why don't you talk a lot of shit, you fucking pussy faggot liberals. You talk a lot of shit, you faggot pussy liberals. Why don't you show us what you're gonna do? Yeah, didn't think you were. We thought you were all fucking talk, you fucking cowards. And they're right. They're absolutely right. I'm not gonna disagree with them. The 99% I think are addicted to kneeling. I mean, it would take them a couple days to fix everything, so you can see why the 99%, the 7 billion people can't get anything done. Yeah, I understand that. Fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you. Wait, I've digressed. I'm so sorry. What the fuck was I saying? I'm stoned, I told you, I apologize. And the tequila was pretty good. So, shadow banning. Check this out. I just noticed today, because I use Facebook not to say to my friends, hey, what's up? I usually use Facebook to teach people the truth. Because I, as an investigative reporter, know tons of secrets that the average American does not know. I investigate the New York Times, the New York Post. I investigate their financial shit, their business relationships with Bloomberg. That's what I do for fun. I didn't ask for this. I was born a natural detective. I've always been the kind of person who sees through everything. Nothing. It's hard to trick me. I was just born very, very like a laser beam focus, except in these videos. I'm sorry. And it's not a good thing. I didn't want to know that Santa was a wonderful lie. I didn't want to see through that lie. All these lies are wonderful. Jesus is a great lie. Heaven sounds like a fantastic lie. I don't want to see through the fucking lie. Now I'm miserable and unhappy. Right? I didn't want to be smart. Being smart sucks. But I was unfortunately born a super detective. I could show you thousands of examples because you probably think I'm exaggerating. Like I can hear, when I hear music, I'll be like, that's a complete ripoff of blah, blah, blah. Here's an example. Black Sabbath's first album, I love Black Sabbath's first album, but everyone seems to have not noticed. It is literally it is plagiarism of Cream. Almost the whole first album. You can hear it. Listen again. If you go back and listen, on every song Ozzy is singing Jack Bruce. He's trying to do Jack Bruce. He just has a very different voice. So he ended up accidentally having his own style. And I love Ozzy singing. I really do. For as crude as he is. I think he's great. I think he's perfect. Iconic, distinctive, melodic, blah, blah, blah. I've digressed to Ozzy and Black Sabbath. What the fuck is wrong with me? Oh. So, listen to Black Sabbath's first album. Listen to Ozzy singing and ask yourself as you're listening to it, does this sound like Jack Bruce singing for Cream? Is this a melody I already heard in Cream songs? Ding, 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 ding. So my whole life, I've seen through things that other people don't see through. And it's not a good thing. It kind of ruins the fun. It ruins the magic sometimes. It makes you respect, like I was a fan of Spirit, and I heard their song that Stairway to Heaven was ripped off from when I was a teenager, and I was like, fuck, and I love Led Zeppelin. So while everybody else still believed Led Zeppelin were holy, I was like, no, I can list a variety of where they stole shit from. Okay, let's get back to shadow banning now. So have I given you an example of why it sucks to be a super detective? To be very detecting? I need a better word for it. Today on Facebook, I think Facebook is using shadow ban technology, ladies and germs. I hate how the light bounces off one of my teeth there. I gotta say, I hate it. It's very annoying. Do you follow me? It makes sense that Facebook at some point was going to start employing shadow banning technology. That's where they will censor you so nobody reads what you wrote. A person like me who's teaching people some of the secrets of the 1% even Facebook or CIA tricks in all kinds of different industries. That's what I do for fun. Even my music does that as a performer, my lyrics. I expose government corruption and big business corruption. I would rather write about that than chasing girls. Fuck you. I write songs about girls. Fuck you. Look up If Your Vagina's Burned in a Fire. The greatest love song ever written. I'll challenge anybody. Step forward and tell me that's not the greatest love song of all time. I am singing about loving a woman even after she's lost her vagina, her tits, and her ass. Her vagina in a fire, her tits and her ass in a car crash. And the point is, girl, you're a fucking mess, and I still love you just as much as I did before. You are a fucking mess. I'm sorry, Paul McCartney can't touch that. Barry Manilow can't touch that. But let's focus, shall we, on shadow banning. Oh, so in 2012, I noticed that I was writing on the New York Post, for example. Now, the New York Post fucking hate me. Remember, they already hated me before. The New York Post has done lots of pieces on me. The New York Post hates me. And thank you very much. The New York Times hates me, but half the writers really love me. I mean, they all hate me, but respect me and like me. But they all shit on me and smear me in the newspapers. However, 17 pieces in the New York Times alone. I mean, I'm not making this shit up, people, all right? I'm not some crank. I'm the best fucking investigative reporter in the fucking planet, and I'll take on anybody. Best whistleblower on the planet, I'll take on anybody. Edward Snowden only taught us stuff, one, we already knew. And two, a very pretty limited category, too. I hit anything you can pretty much name in human society. I can take apart for you and tell you how it really works. Like our favorite songs on the radio. It's like people still think that's merit-based. No, they had to pay for all those songs, people. Everything you believe is a lie. Everything in this world is a lie. Everything, let's put this again in English. Everything in this world is fake. The Beatles cheated their success. Frank Sinatra hired actresses to faint in the front rows of his concerts in Manhattan so the press would go, holy fuck. And then people would read about it, and it created buzz. People would go see Sinatra, and that was it. Everything is false. Not just professional wrestling. Everything is false. Even when people tell each other they love them, most of the time that's false. Fuck, I've digressed. Oh, good. We're only at 9 minutes, though. Is that correct? Or am I getting fucked again? So now with the Post, I'm pretty sharp. So I would write in the Post, and then people would write back and say, then other people, obviously, because it was mostly conservatives reading the New York Post, they would all pile on me and write stupid comments like, you should take your meds, or you're crazy, or, are you wearing your tinfoil hat? And I would say, I agree with you that you can't disprove any points I made. Thank you for flattering me. And they hated me. They were like, oh, fucking dick. Or I'd be snarky as fuck and hilarious and make them look like jackasses. You wouldn't believe how many people I attack who end up saying, I love you. Because I'm wonderful. But not in these videos. I'm sorry. I have to make sure you understand that. This is me at my worst. Fuck off. I'm not fucking setting up any kind of picture that looks good. I'm not fucking grooming. I'm not. I don't even have a shirt on tonight. So fuck off. One day I noticed nobody was attacking me on the New York Post websites. Because I would every day, it was one thing I would do for 15 minutes a day at least. My rule, go on the websites and I would look at their major stories and that were filled with bold lies and their business agenda, and I would blow them apart point by point in the comment section. And it was devastating. I mean, they were smart to shadow ban me. Daily News didn't shadow ban me. Daily News just kept banning me. And anytime I would create a new email account, different computer, Wi-Fi, whatever I'd have to use, I would get through again. And they'd ban me again and again. And Gothamist would ban me and ban me and ban me. New York Times, they moderate me and just never allow me on. You understand? But the New York Post wanted to do a dirty, dirty, dirty trick. Remember, even dirtier than Stalin and Hitler. And I said, okay, they're doing something weird where I refreshed the page. I did everything. I'm like, nope, they're doing stuff where all these things, it makes me, they know what my IP is or whatever. And they're saying that they didn't block my comment, just nobody finds it interesting to comment on. Okay, we know that's false because every day fucking right-wing meatheads are attacking me and I love it. Because they go to bed at night and they go, he's that fucking asshole. He can't be right. The police aren't government run. They're not a monopoly. That'd be communism. No, there's no way. He's wrong. The military's not a government. Well, I guess it is run by the government. The military is run by the government, and it's a monopoly. Is it a monopoly? Fuck that fucking long-haired faggot liberal. He can't be right. But fire department's also government-run monopoly. He says the whole government is socialism. That the President of the United States is a socialist because he's employed by the government and runs a monopoly. It's not a private corporation. Shut the fuck up. And they go to bed at night, and every one of them, they'll deny it. 10 years later, they always admit it. But at the time, they'll deny it. But how can they not? I just told them that Santa doesn't exist. No kid goes to sleep that night and goes and forgets about it. Every child, the day they're told there's no Santa by their big brother or whoever, that night, oh boy, there's one thing they're thinking about. And so when I drop my bombs, my little truth bombs, no Republican, it's almost impossible for a Republican to ignore it. Because I've just told them there's no Santa. And they know it's true in their hearts. Because even they had doubts. And now I confirmed their doubts. And it makes the Republicans question their identity. And so then they get even a little bit more upset. Mixture of anger and anxiety. I've digressed. If they had a digression Olympics, I'd be fucking Michael Phelps. And yes, that is also a drug reference. So, what the fuck was I saying? Rats. So what I did was, that was easy to solve. I just went to my girlfriend's laptop, and since she had a different IP, or whatever the thing is built into the computer, because we were using the same IP, my comments were not there. They were missing. My comments were missing. So the New York Times, the New York Post had some brand new technology that none of us had heard of. This is January 2012. They might have had it before then, but I doubt it, because think about it. You wouldn't really need it until more and more of us in Occupy Wall Street started doing real damage. So it's most likely a pretty recent technology. The fact that it looks like now Facebook has recently started to use this. Now, we would know because I post extremely inflammatory things about Facebook. like the illegal things they're doing to you and me. I have filed a federal lawsuit in federal court that is docketed last week or a couple weeks ago. It's on the docket now, and it's going to move forward. Is it going to move forward quickly? No, because American courts are all illegal. Remember, we all agree justice delayed is justice denied. The longer you drag out a case, the longer the injustice occurs. The slower the courts move, the more time and money it wastes of the innocent people, the weak people fighting Goliath. Because who runs the courts? Goliath. So they want the courts to move because the government's not using the courts against us for the most part. The government's using the courts to slow us down. I mean, does that make sense? I'm pretty high. They run the courts. So their argument is, no, the courts are really slow getting you justice because that's just the way it is. We don't have the technology to bring somebody to trial within 5 years. I waited 5 years for trial on a B misdemeanor. Ask around. It's not possible. I waited another 5 years for a second B misdemeanor. It's not humanly possible, but it's on the record. I waited 5 years for a B misdemeanor trial. Remember, that's like a parking ticket 1 notch up. 5 years. I begged for my right to trial to prove I was innocent. They knew I was innocent, so they made sure the courts moved like molasses. The Nazis gave people fair trials in 4 months, and that's the way you do it. Remember, every day they wait, evidence is deteriorating, memories are fading. If the government doesn't bring all civil and criminal cases to trial in under a year, we have an international scandal, ladies and gentlemen. That's another example of what they don't want you to know. It is illegal. Never mind just the Bill of Rights, how it says speedy trials in criminal cases. Under due process, equal protection, etc., there has to be speedy civil trials. Nobody has picked up that. I don't think I've ever heard anyone pick that up yet. Under the current Bill of Rights, civil trials can't take 2 years. You can't wait 4 years for justice. Some people wait 10 years, 30 years. There are civil trial cases going 30 years in the courts, people. We know why the Goliath is stalling and stalling. It's not legal. But since nobody knows it, nothing's going to get fixed. Who's going to fix it? Nobody even knows there's a problem. Nobody even knows there's a leak. So who's going to plug the leak? Nobody. So nothing improves. That's where I come in, and people like me, and that's why we get beaten up, thrown in jail, smeared in the newspapers, etc. I'm flattered, frankly. But, so New York Post was using the shadow ban technology, and today it finally hit me. I should have noticed sooner. But with Cop Block, for example, Cop Block is doing some serious damage. They're finally doing what I've always dreamed of. It's just one website where anyone can post stories all over the world of police corruption. So we have one-stop shopping. So you can just see, oh my God, we can catalog it all in one easy place. Everyone can go, oh my God, I thought there was a bit of police brutality and police corruption, but holy fuck. Because I've always said that. I'm like, you people have no fucking clue because newspapers don't tell you 95% of it, people. They don't tell you any of the shit. And I'm living proof of that. When I win my cases in court, oh, it's not news. But when I'm arrested, it's news. You know why that is. We all know why that is. Again, there's one villain in the world, media. Kill the media, we solve every other problem. Stop the media, we solve every other problem overnight. It's not hard to solve homelessness and this other stupid shit, people. It makes sense that Facebook would monitor some of us really good activists who do a lot of good damage online on Facebook. Because remember, Mark has admitted they're going to start logging. They're going to be documenting anyone who they deem a terrorist or anyone law enforcement deems a terrorist. Cop Block, the rest of them. We know they're monitoring all this shit. It stands to reason if you're somebody like me who gives people intellectual ammunition and teaches them the secrets of what these assholes are doing, you'd be stupid not to shadow ban me, right? You'd be stupid not to shadow ban me and all the other people. Stands to reason. They're not total amateurs. So here's a fun fact. Since I have filed a lawsuit against Facebook, if they're shadow banning me, they just hung themselves again legally in court. Ha, 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 ha. ha 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 ha. What's that bing bong? Fuck. Bye. I was supposed to go to sleep 3 hours ago. It's 7 a.m. Oh my god, and I have so much work to do. But if I don't tell you the truth, I'm not sure who will. Bill Maher? Michael Moore? Those guys are lazy. And I'm a terrible storyteller.